Really? Okay, what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're cleaning up the exhaust ports. I want to round these out. I want to clean them up. I'm not doing any porting right now. I'm just cleaning them up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the big top. All right, we're proceeding on with the porting of this thing, and I was somewhat disappointed. So we got the degree wheel on it, and I made a new flange for this, the header flange. So anyway, that's got to be welded on once it's in the bike and I see what orientation it has to be in. That's what we're going to do. All right, so 0 is right here. You can, about 10 degrees either way, you're going to see that's pretty much set on 0. All right. We're looking right around 110 in opening. So from that point to where it opens the transfer ports right there, it's about 130. So that's 20 degrees of blowdown. And when we reach right around 180, that's the maximum that we're going to open our exhaust, which is not good. And that's the maximum we're going to open our transfer ports, which is not good either, because you got to move a lot of fuel and what have you through there. Now, on this, and that's that piston I got in there. So this is at right there at, you got a little bit of skirt showing, not much. And that's when it's sucking in fuel. And right there about 60 degrees, 62, 63 degrees is right about there, is whenever it's closing. So now it's coming down, pressurizing that inside there. And right there, about 110, is whenever your exhaust is going to open up. And now it's squashing that charge pretty hard, and now this is opening up and squashing the charge through there. And if you notice that the transfer ports point back to the intake to help wash out the burnt fuel and gas down the expansion chamber, will pull out spent gas, fuel, and fresh charge. And whenever the other cone, the cone that takes it out, then the cone that puts it in is pushing it back in. This is when this is coming up, and that's your area where you start compression, and that's your supercharging or turbocharging effect. What I'm gonna have to do, and is that on 0? That's on 0 right there. I've got a lot right here. I could take a bunch of this off. The problem is though, I'm not getting very much opening here, down here at 180, right there. I still got piston in the way of the exhaust. So probably by cleaning and I got a gasket under this thing, probably by cleaning the bottom like I did and making the jug sit straight, I probably took some off of it. You probably wouldn't think it's a whole bunch, but it's not, but it's enough for this many degrees or this many degrees. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a heavier gasket up under this to get this up so I can get some more, or try to get this down to the bottom and or more open and more transfer port. And then what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take this off, because what that's going to do, if I won't raise my jug up, get it on 0, I'm going to lose a lot of my squash. So I'll leave a little bit here, but I'll cut half of this thickness off. And I would love to fly cut this to cut this down, at least flush. Because you got a gasket going on, the gasket's gonna be pretty good size itself. So these little motors are horrible when it comes down to two-stroke performance. And I don't have much, let me get that over where you can see it. They don't have much transfer port opening. So I'm gonna come up with a heavier gasket. The gasket I've got in there now is relatively small. I'm gonna come up with I'm gonna get some gasket material and I'm gonna come up with this. And you can see right there, I just don't have a whole bunch right there. This right here ported out pretty good. You gotta remember that lip right there. Don't worry about that, because that's the same size as this and it's gonna fit right up against there, wherever it's gonna go, and then I'll weld this on there. I had to machine this and everything else. So that's it right now for porting. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna put a heavier gasket on it, and this is going to there is going to be some skirt I'm going to have to remove once this comes up some, but I'm going to have to look at it after I do that, after I put a heavier gasket on it. And that's it for right now, boys and girls. Hit like and subscribe, please. This thing is like for better words. I'm not even going to say it. But anyway, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Right off the bat, you guys rock. And please hit like. We're going to get it done, and we're going to see what kind of performance we're going to get, but we're going to do as whatever we can to get this thing as good as it will be. I could cut some of the transfer ports, because if you look at here, that's the breaking of it right about there. So we're at 110, right there at 110. So when we start to break the transfer ports right there, we're at 130. So we should be right around 14, if I'm not mistaken. So we should be more or less right here. And right there of breaking the transfer port. And whenever you look at it, that's not a whole bunch. Yeah, you can see it opening it at 30. So if we take it on back to 10, 14, so that's pretty damn close to where it's supposed to be right there. So whenever I put the heavier gasket in it, that's going to change that a little bit, and that's really not a bad thing. All right, guys, so that's it for right now. We're going to get it done. That's the bike. We are we're gonna get it done. I finally got that polished out. I finally seat post, I got a crank for it, stuff like that. The expansion chamber I'm going to be making from one of the banana pipes, but it's going to be hand done. You got this little tiny opening right here compared to this, and it doesn't even look like it's a very good job. We'll be cutting it back here to fit this. Okay, so that's it for right now, guys. Hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and y'all have a great day.